Tonight, there are questions over whether or not the city's proposed ban on homeless encampments is legal. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee. The San Diego City Council is expected to vote on the issue tomorrow. CBS 8's Shannon Handy spoke with a retired Superior Court judge about the proposal and talks about some of the legal challenges it could face.
Marcella, banning homeless encampments is a highly contentious issue. The retired judge I spoke with says if this proposal passes, San Diego could face legal challenges similar to what other cities have dealt with in the past.
This is a long-term commitment by this city to provide resources for vulnerable and sick individuals.
They have no other alternatives. Where will they go?
For weeks now, people both for and against the Unsafe Camping Ordinance have been on a mission to get their voices heard ahead of tomorrow when the San Diego City Council is expected to vote on the issue. If approved, the proposal would make encampments illegal in all public spaces when shelter beds are available. However, there are some areas where encampments would not be allowed at any time, regardless of shelter capacity, like in parks or near schools.
So that is the second part, and I think the more controversial part of this proposal.
Laura Hallgren is a retired San Diego Superior Court judge. She referenced a case out of Boise, Idaho. In 2018, the appellate court threw out a law which had allowed police to arrest people for sleeping in public on the grounds such arrests were cruel and unusual punishment if shelter beds or housing were unavailable for homeless residents. In that case, she says the courts never specify what types of exceptions would be allowed under the law. That's where San Diego could run into a legal challenge.
In Santee, there is an ordinance that prohibits camping along the San Diego River because of the public safety concern of pollutants running into the river. And there are other public safety exceptions that allow absolute bans. But this one is pretty broad, and if the case came into court, a judge would need to look at it and decide, is the public safety concern so specific that it outweighs the right to sleep on the streets if there's no shelter available?
Community group Alliance San Diego created this map, which they claim shows where encampments would be banned at all times. The majority of the city is covered in black. Judge Hallgren says if a legal challenge is brought forth, it may take the highest court to decide where and when the ban applies.
It's interesting to note that the Boise case from the Ninth Circuit is in conflict with some rulings in other circuits, and it's possible this issue could get before the U.S. Supreme Court at some point.
The city attorney's office also raised some concerns. If you'd like to read their legal analysis on this issue, just log on to CBS8.com and click on this story. Now, again, this is just a proposal. We will have full coverage of the City Council's vote tomorrow. For CBS 8, I'm Shannon Handy.
Thanks, Shannon. We've been following the Safe Camping Ordinance proposal from the start. You can read more about it and also hear from Mayor Todd Gloria in a sit-down interview on the topic. Just go to our website, CBS8.com, or you can follow CBS 8 on social media for those links.